Today we're going to talk about the call reversal in the Denver-Brooklyn game that went in Jokic's favor. The core question today is whether or not the reversal was the correct call, which is another way of saying, is in fact what Spencer Dinnwittie did an offensive foul, and was Yokic in legal defensive position? And you know what I'm getting at. The significance of this answer determines whether or not 80% of LeBron James's points have been legal over the years. Now, you could go a couple of directions with this. You could say things like that this was intentional favoritism being shown to the two-time MVP. This is some sort of a conspiracy to try and help him get a third MVP. You could say it was simply a bad call, a bad reversal. Or you could say, yeah, they got it right when they reviewed it. Those of you who watch my channel, especially my game breakdowns, know that I have said over and over and over while watching the games, what is a defender allowed to do? Because LeBron goes charging into the lane, committing multiple offensive fouls in one drive, and he gets to go to the free throw line. Sometimes there is a foul there. Sometimes there's a questionable foul. A lot of times, the defender is simply retreating. And most of the time, the defender is getting abused via an offensive foul. I don't think LeBron James is the only person who does it, just like Spencer Dinnwittie just did it. But I'll tell you this much. LeBron James lives by getting away with these offensive fouls. So again, is this a legal play or not? Now, whether or not your opinion is that it's a legal play, or my opinion of whether it is or isn't, we have an NBA official explaining on television why this was not a foul.
Replay review, the challenge is successful. The defender is in a legal position. The offensive player extends his left arm into the legal defense.
So, was this official lying on television, looking directly into the camera? Or is this, in fact, how the NBA should be calling these plays? Spencer Dinnwittie is certainly not the only person to clear out, to extend an arm while driving. LeBron James certainly isn't the only one who does it. The difference is that LeBron James relies upon this not getting called. I mean, we're talking about somewhere in the 70 to 80% range of his points being attributed to being allowed to commit offensive fouls while he is driving to the lane. We're talking about removing points when the bucket actually goes in. We're talking about removing the points when he gets to go to the free throw line. We're talking about removing the points that he can't score because he would be sitting on the bench in foul trouble if the NBA were officiating him correctly. Imagine how much different LeBron's legacy would be if, in fact, he was sitting on the bench, getting half the minutes he plays now, in foul trouble. Have other NBA greats ever benefited from a call in their favor? Of course they have. But in this case, we're talking about someone who survives, whose bread and butter is based upon incorrect officiating. The impact of these sorts of calls on the game are far more profound than your average viewer of the NBA understands. For example, not only did Denver's star player, Yokic, not get another foul called against him, potentially putting him in foul trouble, potentially setting a tone that tells him from the referees, hey, we're calling it super tight and you can't defend. You know, you've got to basically get out of the way. Otherwise, we're going to keep calling fouls. You know, there's all this hidden messaging going on. But you also have now one of Brooklyn's star players get a foul assessed to him. remove a foul on one side, add a foul on the other side. That is a huge swing. And you better believe players' confidence and aggressiveness changes depending on whether or not the refs appear to be in their favor.